Hello. Are you ready for the next chapter in our book, The Enchanted Wood, part of the Magic Faraway Tree series by Enid Blyton? Chapter 22, Up to the Land of Toys. Knockety knock knock! Bang, bang, bang! Rat-a-tat-tat! Good gracious! It sounds as if someone's at the door, said Joe. I'll go and open it, Mother. He went to open the door, and outside, looking very impatient, stood the old saucepan man. He was hung about with pots and pans and kettles as usual, and had a saucepan for a hat. "Hello!" said the saucepan man. "Didn't you hear me knock? I've come to tell you that we must go to the top of the Faraway tree tomorrow. There's a very nice land coming up there." "Well, what is it?" asked Joe. "Toyland," said Saucepan. "You can bring a bag with you and collect quite a lot in time for Christmas." "Oh, what a good idea," said Joe. He called to his two sisters. "Beth, Franny, did you hear what Saucepan Man said?" "Oh, yes," they cried, running to the door. "Oh, Saucepan, we really must come. Can we help ourselves to toys, do you think?" "Well, I've an aunt there," said Saucepan, "and if I tell her you're my friends, you can have what you want. Can you meet me at the top of the Faraway tree tomorrow morning?" "Oh, yes, and will Moonface and Silky be coming too?" said Beth happily. "We haven't seen them for ages." "Oh, we'll have fun," said Franny. "Oh, yes, please," said Saucepan unexpectedly. "I'd like that very much." "Like what?" said Beth, astonished. "What you just offered me, a bun," said Saucepan, looking round for it. "Oh, you suddenly went deaf," said Beth. "I just said we'll have fun." "Oh, all the same, I'd like a bun," said Saucepan. Joe got him a bun out of the cake tin. He went off, munching happily, his pans rattling and clanging around him. "See you tomorrow," he called. The next day, the three children set off to the faraway tree. Into the dark, enchanted wood they went, and followed the winding path they knew so well. The trees whispered around them as they went. They always seemed to have secrets to tell one another. "Wish, wish, wish," they whispered. They came to the faraway tree in the middle of the wood. It looked even more enormous than usual. It towered up into the clouds, and the children couldn't even see the top of it. Its trunk was so big that it was quite a walk to go all round it. "Great! The tree's growing blackberries today," said Joe, picking some big ripe ones. "Well, it shouldn't then," said Beth. "Blackberries grow on bushes, not on trees. The faraway tree has made a mistake." They began to climb the tree. A little way up, it stopped growing blackberries and grew pine cones. "Oh, not so good," said Joe. "We can't eat pine cones, faraway tree." "It's a very exciting tree, this," said Franny. "Always growing different things all the way up, and having people living in it too, and a slippery slip all the way inside from the top to the bottom. I'm glad we live near a tree like this. We're lucky." "Yes, I bet a lot of children wish they lived near it too," said Joe, helping Beth over a steep bit. "My goodness, the adventures we've had!" "Oh, look out! I can hear Dame Washalot's dirty water coming down," yelled Franny suddenly, and sure enough, down came a cascade of soapy water, running down the trunk, splashing on the boughs, and soaking a little pixie who was sitting near by. "Bother!" she said. "And I brought an umbrella with me too, in case... Oh, I didn't hear the water coming." Joe laughed. "I should put on a swimsuit next time and not bother about the umbrella," he said. "Anyway, the sun will soon dry you." They went up, passing little windows in the faraway tree, and came to Silky's small yellow door. They knocked, but there was no answer. "Oh, she's gone up to the top of the tree, I expect," said Joe. "Come on, we don't want to keep the others waiting." They climbed right up to Moonface's little door. From inside came the sound of chattering and the noise of jangling and clanging. "Oh, the saucepan man's here all right then," said Joe. "And the others too, I should think." He banged on the door. Moonface opened it, beaming all over his big round face. "Oh, come in," he said. "We're just having a snack before we go." "Oh, what sort of a snack?" asked Beth, going in with the others. "Pop cakes? I love those." "No, something Saucepan bought when he was in the land of surprises," said Moonface. "Well, I never rolls." "What a peculiar name," said Joe, looking at the dish of nice crusty little rolls. "What do they taste of?" "Well, try one," said Moonface, "and tell us." Joe took a roll and bit into it. "Oh, tastes of cheese," he said. "Oh, no, well, I never. It tastes of ginger now. No, it doesn't. It's chocolate. And now it tastes of coconut, and it's got bits of coconut in it. No, they've gone. It's treacly. Well, I never." "Yes, most peculiar, isn't it?" said Moonface. "No wonder they called well I never rolls. You just simply never know what they'll taste of next. Every chew you have tastes of something different." "Well, jolly good," said Joe. "I'll have another one. My, this tastes of pickled onions." "Oh, no, it doesn't. No, it's custard. Lovely. Mustard," said Saucepan Man in disgust. "I hate ones to taste of mustard." "No, I said custard," said Joe, and then made a face. "Oh, my goodness, it is mustard now. Horrible. Oh, just what I said. Mustard," said Saucepan. He bit into his. "Ah, mint. Delicious. Why, it's mint sauce. I can taste the tiny bits of mint." "Well, you'll find it's got roast lamb next," said Silky. Saucepan looked surprised. "No, it isn't ham," he said. I said lamb," shouted Silky. "No, it's not jam," said Saucepan. "Well, I never. It's lamb. Lamb and mint sauce. How clever. Really, these rolls are remarkable." So they were. The 6 of them finished up the whole dish of them. "Oh, I wish I'd brought heaps more of them with me," said Saucepan, getting up. "Well, aren't we going to the Toyland? Do hurry up." They were all ready. They went out of Moonface's little round room and climbed up the topmost branch into a cloud. They came to the little ladder that led upwards through the last bit of the cloud. Toyland should be at the top. Saucepan went first. He climbed off the top rung of the ladder and called down to the others, "Yes, it's here. Come on." Up they all went, and at last stood in Toyland. But there seemed to be no toys about at all. Saucepan pointed to a town not far off. Flags were flying brightly from little houses. "There's the village of toys," he said. "Now we'll go and find me aunt." They set off to the village. But when they got there, Saucepan stopped and looked puzzled. "Well, dear me," he said, "this isn't the land I'd hoped. The toys are all alive. Look, isn't that a teddy bear walking about?" "Well, yes," said Beth. "Goodness, we can't take toys like these away to play with at home. They're as big as we are." "Well, I'll find me aunt," said Saucepan, and they all walked down the village street, meeting 3 or 4 sailor dolls, a curious man who had no legs but just wobbled along, and some beautifully dressed dolls. Saucepan's aunt was nowhere to be found. She kept a toy shop, and, of course, there was no toy shop here because, well, the toys lived in little houses made of coloured wooden bricks. "Oh, your aunt lives in the other land, you silly," said Silky. "This must be the land of toys, not Toyland." "Oh, well, let's enjoy ourselves anyway," said Saucepan. "Here comes another wobbly man. Let's try and push him over." The wobbly man was astonished and annoyed when Saucepan gave him a push. He wobbled over backwards and then came forwards again, only to give another push, and this time from Moonface. "How dare you!" cried the wobbly man in a rage. "That's not the way for visitors to behave. I'll report you to the captain of the toy soldiers." He wobbled off, at a remarkable speed. The three children and Silky felt a bit scared. "Well, you shouldn't go round pushing people, Saucepan," said Joe, "not even to see them wobble. Oh, I do hope we don't get into trouble." Saucepan suddenly went deaf and didn't hear. He hardly ever did hear when someone was scolding him. "Oh, look, there's a clockwork mouse running along," he said, pointing. "Run, mouse, run! Meow! Meow!" The clockwork mouse was very frightened when it heard Saucepan meowing. It turned and ran off at speed, almost bumping into a toy soldier. "Oh, look, there's the captain of the soldiers," said Beth, afraid, "and the wobbly man is with him. He's complained about us, as he said he would. Oh, we'd better run away." "Well, no," said Joe, "we can easily explain, and Saucepan must say that he's sorry." Up marched the toy soldier, as smart as could be. He saluted. Click! "You must come with me," said the captain in a commanding voice. "You are not toys, and should not be here. Also, your behaviour must be looked into. Follow me. Quick! March!" "Well, we'd better follow," said Joe. "He can't do anything to us. He's only a toy, even if he is alive. And I must say, I'd rather like to see what that toy fort is like inside." So they all followed the toy soldier and the wobbly man. Whatever was going to happen next? And we'll find out what happens next tomorrow. See you then.